Here's what's coming up on your horizon. Well, uncertainty over capital gain rates has more than a few people scrambling around trying to get some big ticket items sold before the first of the year. We'll look at the impact that could have on both Wall Street and Main Street.
Anytime you sell anything you own for a profit, for more than you paid for it, that's a capital gain.
We'll roll around town with a group of Oklahomans trying to give us a glimpse of the everyday difficulties of being in a wheelchair.
One split second, one wrong decision, one accident, and you're in a chair for the rest of your life.
We visit a program helping the hearing impaired train for success in the workplace.
I called one of the technicians and it cost a lot, so I decided that it's better for me to come to school to learn how to do it, so I can learn how to fix it on my own.
And I'll tell you why Oklahoma pecan growers are a bit more cheerful this holiday season, while we'll end our day with an Oklahoma roots music jam that's bridging the generations. Stay with us for Oklahoma Horizon.
Oklahoma Horizon is made possible by the Oklahoma Department of Career and Technology Education.
Oklahoma's investment in careertech provides more than nationally recognized technology education and training. It produces solid financial returns for the state's economic future. Oklahoma Careertech, elevating our economy.
And the Oklahoma Department of Agriculture, Food, and Forestry, helping good people grow good things. And now, from the CareerTech Studios in Stillwater, here's your host, Rob McClendon.
Hello everyone, thanks for joining us here on Horizon. Well, a capital gain is certainly something we all wish we could have. It's the profit made on the sale of a large ticket item that can range from property to stocks or dividends. Now, during the past election, President Obama campaigned on the wealthy paying more in taxes, and an increase in the capital gain tax rate is one way that could happen. Joining me now is our Andy Barth.
Well, Rob, the tax code has long favored investment income over the money we get in our paychecks. But today's capital gain rates now sit at 15% and are the lowest they have been since the 1930s. Now, President Obama campaigned to raise those rates, but only for the wealthy. Under his plan, those earning more than $250,000 a year would see any capital gains taxed at 20%, and dividends would go back to being taxed as ordinary income, more than doubling the current rate.
You see this?
Oh, let me guess.
Meet Fred and Eleanor.
No, it's worse. Look.
Two actors in a multi-million-dollar ad campaign opposing possible increases in taxes on dividends and capital gains.
Our dividends would more than double.
Anytime you sell anything you own for a profit, for more than you paid for it, that's a capital gain.
Dr. Gary Simpson is a professor of finance at Oklahoma State University and says higher rates on capital gains and dividends will cause some people's tax bills to go up.
If you sold a share of stock, the tax on that now would be 15%. Now what will happen, and what a lot of controversy is that in 2013, the end of 2012, that will be taxed as ordinary income.
Which would double the current taxable rate. And while retirees living off investments may be the focus in the campaign against the rate increases, it is Wall Street that may feel the real pinch. Currently, the top 0.1% high-income earners receive more than half of today's tax benefits. Among these super rich are Wall Street traders who enjoy the lower capital gain tax rate of 15%.
The big argument, of course, with the carried income is, of course, usually you're looking at wealthy hedge fund managers, wealthy private equity investors. Essentially, the gains that these people earn, it could be argued that it's labor income because in some cases they have invested maybe quite a bit of money, but it's a small percentage of the total investments in a company.
Yet it is on Main Street that some fear a higher rate may slow the economy. Entrepreneur and business owner Anthony Mulligan says if businesses have to pay more in taxes, they won't invest in hiring more employees.
If we didn't have that margin from the capital gains difference to start the business,
we would have probably done something, but it would have been really small, and it would have probably been more of like a consulting business where I would have probably spent time here and there giving people advice and charging them a fee for that. But instead, we just jumped right in and went into business and hired people.
Yet raising the rates on capital gains and investment income would bring in roughly $240 billion over a decade.
It's a big part of our retirement.
No, it's dividends too. The rate on our dividends would more than double.
But we depend on our dividends to help pay our bills. We worked hard to save.
Well, the president and Congress have got to work together.
Now, a common debate is why not adjust capital gains for inflation? Well, here are some numbers that explain why. Let's say you invest $10,000 in a friend's startup company. It struggles for a decade, but in the 10th year, it takes off, and your share catapults in value to $110,000. You then sell that share and pay a capital gains on $100,000. Now, at the old capital gains rate of 28%, you would pay $28,000. Now let's imagine that inflation begins to rage and the dollar loses half its value. Your $100,000 gain would only be worth $50,000. So you would be paying $28,000 on a gain that's only worth $50,000 in real money.
So exactly how many people could this affect, Andy?
Well, Rob, less than 20% of taxpayers even report paying on capital gains and even less on investment income.
All right. Thank you so much, Andy.
You're welcome, Rob.
While raising rates on investment income could bring in close to $250 million in new tax revenues over the next decade, it hasn't been that way the past couple of years. Americans made fewer profits from their investments during the recession, and as logic follows, the federal government brought in way less from capital gains taxes. $137 billion were collected in 2007, and that amount was down to just $37 billion in 2009. When we return, I'll tell you why I have come to fear the beard.
You're watching Oklahoma Horizon, featuring some of the good things that are happening in the great state of Oklahoma.
Well, if you're a regular viewer of the show, you may have noticed I've been looking a little rough around the edges in recent weeks. I've been letting the beard grow, not as much as a fashion statement, then as a personal reminder to take my physical therapy serious. I'm no stranger to knee surgeries, and this fall was my 5th. And ever since that first knee reconstruction all the way back in high school, I've been struck with just how difficult it is to get around with a disability. Everything from doors to just the smallest of steps can be a real challenge. So when a group of disabled Oklahomans invited us to roll with them one afternoon to see what life is like in their chairs, we sent our Horizon intern, Delia Davis, out to give it a spin.
Getting around town is a challenge, especially when walking is not an option. That's why an Oklahoman tries to change attitudes by letting people know what it's like to wheel around. Paul Carton is the program founder.
So it's been very satisfying. It's been hard work, but it's been very satisfying.
So Carton invited us and state lawmakers to spend an afternoon getting just a glimpse into some of the struggles of those differently abled. State Representative Paul Wesselhoff.
You can visualize doing this, but until you actually do it, you don't realize what the challenges are. You just think you know what the challenges are.
From accessibility to even respect, everything is different when you're rolling on wheels.
The parking situation has always been a problem for us, and I've really had good success and luck being inside of restaurants with people that are friendly and willing to help, but every once in a while you find places that think you're more of a hindrance than a help.
To better understand what it's like to be disabled, I too decided to take the challenge.
The most challenging thing I had to do was get up and down the ramp and get inside the restaurant and the restroom. The restroom was really difficult to get into, being that the door swung in, and they say if it swings out, it would be easier access to the bathroom. And sitting in this chair for hours upon hours, it's difficult because it's not cushioned, so it actually does hurt. And to be able to go to a restaurant and not be able to sit at a booth because you can't be inside the the walkways because it's a fire hazard and they have to have a table and the tables aren't available for you, it does get challenging.
When you're rolling a mile on someone else's wheels, you find out that even the simplest things are suddenly difficult. And it's those challenges that the lawmakers work each year to try and eliminate by creating laws that include the disabled needs.
Disabled parking has been our big challenge, and increasing the fines there. But the problem that we run into is we have the fines in place, but the municipalities are doing one of two things. One, they either ignore it and don't even issue a fine, or if they issue a fine, they don't make it the maximum that it could be.
Now sometimes people stare when they see a person who is different from them, yet no one stops to think, that could be me.
One split second, one wrong decision, one accident, and you're in a chair for the rest of your life.
We are all only temporarily able-bodied. Sooner or later, we all face either a wheelchair or a cane or some other disability. We are all only temporarily able-bodied.
Making accessibility important everywhere we go.
Well, maneuvering around isn't the only thing that can be a challenge when disabled. So can getting a job. But thanks to a unique program at a careertech center, skills training is available for the hearing impaired. Once again, here's our Andy Barth.
At Moore Norman Technology Center, students like Natalie Brown take a hands-on approach when learning about computers. But for Natalie, working with her hands is as common as breathing.
I love computer, and I'm always on a computer. I like learning how to work on them. And like one day, my computer messed up, and I called one of the technicians, and it cost a lot. So I decided that it's better for me to come to school to learn how to do it, so I can learn how to fix it on my own.
Brown is one of the deaf education students learning how to be successful in a career, and says she can help others like her when a computer problem arises.
I'm a technician where I can help others work on their computer and help deaf. Because I know sometimes deaf people have a hard time communicating with hearing, so I can try to help them understand how to fix their computer.
Now, every deaf person is different. Not all of them are able to speak for themselves because English is a second language to them, and they can't hear the pronunciation. Meet Cody Thomas, a machining student and rodeo man.
I love to ride bulls and a roping team. I participate in ranch rodeos. I ride horses a lot.
And while his passion is riding bulls, Thomas says not everyone shared his enthusiasm.
I quit riding bulls because of my mom.
After school, Thomas hopes to bring in big money.
Look for a job, hopefully in the area, possibly at Tinker.
And computer-aided design student Josh Lanchey is learning to create and design new ideas.
I love the art. I'm artistic. I like math. I like measurements, engineering, all those kinds of things.
And Lanchey says he hopes to become an entrepreneur.
I plan to work for a company or at some point own my own business in CAD.
And aside from school, Lanchey gives back to his community.
I've done police training with the academy, teaching them sign language, how to communicate with deaf people. You know, because when they pull over somebody, they don't have time to get an interpreter.
A program that helps the hearing impaired help themselves and others.
Well, the hearing impaired class at Moore Norman made its Bright Lights debut. They're now being featured in a promo for a local Oklahoma City TV station. Now, if you want to see that full clip, we have it streaming on our website at okhorizon.com.
Still to come on Oklahoma Horizon. Bridging the generations through music. But first, a whole lot of shaking going on.
Well, Oklahoma pecan growers hit a rough patch the past few years. Everything from drought to ice storms took their toll on recent crops. But according to OSU's Lyndall Stout, this year things are looking up.
It is harvest time in Bill Clark's native pecan orchard, the first harvest since the ice storm of 2006.
Well, when we came in with this ice storm, it looked like a war had been in here with bombs, and it took us a year to clean up, and the trees are just now growing back. It takes them 5, 6 years longer to put out more growth, and we still have dead limbs up in the trees. Last year we had a crop set on, but the dry weather, they just too much stress, and they dropped off in the same way as most everyone else in northeastern Oklahoma. They thought they had a crop and suddenly they were gone.
But this year the pecans made it, though once again weather is impacting the crop.
These are filled out, they're just fabulous. It's going to take more time for them to run them through the process of getting the meats out. But this is absolutely smaller than normal, and it's going to be kind of a tough sell to sell some of these to the shelling companies that we send. But at what price they will buy them, we're not sure, but it's going to be a lower price than the farmers are going to be satisfied with. But they realize if they have a small pecan that they're going to get a pretty large deduction on price.
So the challenges continue, but for Bill, there are no plans to walk away. In fact, he'll be here in Rogers County, spending quality time with his trees.
Once it gets a hold of you, you can't turn loose. So that's I'd rather be doing that than out mingling with the crowd. It's just it's pleasant to see these young trees coming on and wait 12 to 15 years they finally produce. And it's just an exciting time, like you're growing a young baby up.
Now for a broader look at the crop, we turn to Rogers County Extension horticulture educator John Hasse.
Well, from the resources I have so far, because it is still early in the season for harvest, it sounds like we're going to have a decent crop. The pecans are going to be smaller than normal, but the yield is going to be fairly large. And that's great for Oklahoma because we really haven't had a crop at all for at least 5 years now. So it is encouraging in a way to have a decent crop, even though, like I said, the smallness of the pecans this year, which are hopefully not going to happen, but you never know with the droughts and stuff.
You mentioned the trend of people that are sort of new to the industry. There really is some potential money making there if you manage it right?
Yes, there is. It's just like with any crop or land. I mean, if someone raised cattle, and they had the native plants there, like pecans, and they weren't really thinking about it, but they managed them correctly and maybe took a little extra care or learned fertilizing on them and things like that, they could help. It could help with their supplementary income in ways they didn't really realize. So yeah, it can really be a good add-on for them.
Okay. John, great pecan advice. We appreciate your time.
You.
Oklahoma Horizon is now portable. Just subscribe to our weekly podcast. Visit iTunes.com, where you can download our show for your listening or viewing convenience.
Well, musical tastes certainly vary from generation to generation, but one group of Oklahomans is hoping to span that gap with a weekly get-together. Our Keela Kellen explains.
Located in Cushing, Oklahoma, the Tuesday Night Music Club is an informal gathering of all ages and abilities. I was able to catch up with the group to join them for their weekly jam.
It's the sound of Oklahoma, picking its way around the room.
We decided that we'd just pick one night a week and get together and play. And we invited anybody that wanted to come.
And from that began the Tuesday Night Music Club, allowing Rick Riley and just about anyone to join in sharing a language that they all know and love, music.
We do it to encourage each other, basically. We try to give people a place to come and hone their skills, whether they're as a musician or a songwriter. And we just start at one corner of the room and go around and around in a circle all night long until we're done.
Joe Baxter is a musician and songwriter who drives from Midwest City to join the group as often as his schedule will allow.
It's grown to be a really, really great tradition, really fine tradition, and I'm very, very proud to know these people. And they're just the sweetest people in the world. I come and I sit down with folks up here. I've never met anybody up here I didn't like.
Let's go, Jazz!
Initially, the night started to simply allow people a chance to enjoy the music that they grew up with. But the night has grown to become something more special, a gathering that now attracts a younger crowd.
They encourage the younger musicians, and they help them along, give them a place to go play. A lot of kids getting into the music these days buy into this lifestyle where, you know, a lot of the things that are involved with playing music aren't necessarily the types of things that you want youngsters doing. God knows I was like that. You know, it gives them a place to go. It gives them a background. It gives them a real good sense of what other people are doing and how older musicians, you know, approach the craft, and that's real important. You get in groups of people like such as you have here, and there's no telling. You might have any type of genre, any type of style, all different levels of competency and talent and skill.
Gene Collier helped to organize the music club that found a home in DJ Duncan's living room.
One night, the youngest person playing was 8 on a mandolin, and the oldest was 78. And I've always loved that we have such a big range, and hopefully some of those young people in there don't think we're all that old. Us old people are okay, you know?
A love of music that transcends age and keeps attracting new participants every Tuesday night.
We've had 10 to, 70 or 80 where you couldn't even find a place to stand, and upstairs and downstairs. And music out the back and the front, and here and there and everywhere. We're lucky.
Now, if you're interested in catching up with these musicians and maybe joining in for a jam session, we do have their contact information on our website at okhorizon.com.
If you're interested in Oklahoma culture, you can keep up with us throughout the week on the Red Dirt Chronicles blog. Look for our On the Horizon postings on Tuesdays and Fridays and tell us what you think.
Next time on Oklahoma Horizon, we travel to an Oklahoma treasure, Oklahoma City's National Cowboy and Western Heritage Museum.
To be able to show that in a Western representation show is a great privilege. I love it.
On Oklahoma Show for the Heartland, Oklahoma Horizon. Well, that is going to wrap us up for today, but you can see more of any of our stories on our new and improved website at okhorizon.com. You can watch us on the go with our weekly podcast on iTunes. Follow us throughout the week on Twitter at OKHorizonTV, or just become a Horizon fan on Facebook. I'm Rob McClendon. Thanks for watching.
Horizon is made possible by the Oklahoma Department of Career and Technology Education and the Oklahoma Department of Agriculture, Food, and Forestry, helping good people grow good things. Copies of today's show are available on our website, okhorizon.com. Thank you for watching Oklahoma Horizon.